Hi, this is Mark. Congratulations. You have found this amazingly awesome show. Chances are you're listening to it right now on whether it's iTunes or Stitcher Radio or some other mobile app that allows you to stream this amazingly awesome show to your ear holes. And I can't stress how awesomely amazing this show really is. But did you know that you can also catch the latest episode of this show on the Tangibound Network? That's right. Go check out tangiboundnetwork.com. You can look them up and you can listen to it right there. It's even mobile friendly. What more could you ask for? Which means you can pull it up on your iPhone or your Android, even your Windows phone. Yeah, who has one of those? But still, point remains, you can do it. You can do it. Check it out, tangiboundnetwork.com. Listen to this show, the latest episode, every time. Check it out.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swabs it with Earl so it glistens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
The boys will let you know when there's a Spurner. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, welcome to Salty Language, episode 277.
The soon-to-be fullest podcast on the network. You know, fucking Thanksgiving and shit coming up.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, boy.
I guess.
Yeah, we'll
Hey,
see.
is this our official Thanksgiving show? Kinda?
Well, I mean, we won't record another one before Thanksgiving, so I guess
Right.
it kind of has to be
I guess.
by maths.
But the next one will probably tell tales of Thanksgiving.
Right, exactly. So I don't know.
We're some sort of weird Thanksgiving quandary.
I think, given us, I think it's better to call the next one the Thanksgiving one, because then we can, when we tell tales of Thanksgiving and what have you, you know.
That's fair. Whimsical, joyful tales of Cranberry being arced into the wall because of an argument. And,
Right.
You know, Grandpa Phil spilling hot gravy.
Right. Survivor Series will have been in the books. Wrestling plug.
Survivor Series. I still can't believe they do it on Thanksgiving.
No, it's this Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So,
Thanksgiving
yeah.
weekend.
Well, no, it's the weekend before. However you want to look at it.
Oh, you mean this Sunday
Like
is in
currently, like today's Friday,
like
2 days
a
from
day
today.
and a half from now or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I think it used to be the same day as Thanksgiving or that weekend, because I
That's
feel
what
like
I thought I seem to remember that.
because I feel like there were times I couldn't go watch it somewhere because of Thanksgiving stuffs. So I don't know. Which was always a dumb thing to do. Why would you, because there's so many people, watching wrestling on, now there's
Like,
3 football games.
Turn off the wrestling. We're watching football.
Yeah, I was going to say now there's 3 football games on Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. One for breakfast, one for lunch, one for dinner.
Yeah, there is. Or, it depends on what team you're rooting for, I guess. You schedule your nap accordingly.
This is true.
Like a pre-eating nap and a post-eating nap. I don't know.
I always have a hard time not going completely off the rails on Thanksgiving food-wise.
Yeah. It is tough sometimes, I know.
Because it's all so delicious.
You hope.
Although this year we're not going to be home for it, which is going to be weirder.
Yeah, right.
We're doing our little Florida trip.
Right. So you going to hit a restaurant or something like that for?
I have no idea. There's some sort of a Thanksgiving thing planned.
Yeah.
But I don't exactly know what it is.
Ah, okay.
I'm kept not in the dark because I'm sure if I just asked my wife or asked our friend down there, she'd be like, here's what's going on.
Yeah.
I just haven't made the effort to do it. How about that?
That makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not, like we go to my family and it's always turkey, ham.
Mm-hmm.
Although we do have a Thanksgiving event this weekend at my aunt's house, but it's not my mom's house.
Right.
And then there's, like cheese potatoes, sweet potatoes. There's always just a plethora of foods.
Right.
And then, I'll for sure miss all the kielbasa goodness from, her side of the family.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I guess so. Because,
yeah.
Maybe they'll just FaceTime you and just, slow swipe over the food so you can see it all or whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah.
With, sexy music playing.
Well, obviously.
Then you're doing it Snapchat. Cue the sexy music up.
Yeah.
And then you can play it in the background automatically.
That's a great idea. As long as there's, nobody actually eating on camera. That's no good.
Depends on what they're eating.
I guess, yeah.
They're deep throating turkey leg.
Yeah, I guess you're right on that. It would be interesting to see for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's the next hit genre. Once this whole, apparently incest wave of porn is over.
Ugh, yeah.
Turkey porn.
Turkey porn, yeah.
Do you think on the holidays there's an upswing in themed pornography that people watch?
Not just on Thanksgiving, but on any holiday.
I'm sure Christmas, because, you always see, posts on Reddit or something of oh, here's my sexy Christmas get up. And some, chick of her stocking hanging out and everything else.
Right.
But,
I guess the way to find out would be to go on to, whatever porn site is a person's favorite and look at, to see if they push anything. Is there anything on the front page to where it's hey, check out the Christmas porn section or whatever?
That makes me I would love to know if there's pilgrim porn.
There's gotta be. Dude, come on. With stuffing the turkey and various, nice yams. Come on. There's just too many. Yeah.
Just somebody in buckled shoes plowing somebody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Naturally.
Buckled shoes.
Buckled shoes and a dopey hat.
Mm-hmm.
Just railing them.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta make the stuffing, right?
That's clever turkey butter sculpture in the background.
That would be weird.
Yeah, it's never occurred to me if the holiday themed porn has an upswing in the holiday that's around.
It does make you wonder if do people get more in the mood to watch? Because on a Thursday in May, you're probably not going to feel you know what I could go for? Some Thanksgiving porn. Yeah. It just seems like a weird time. So
I really kind of want to Google Thanksgiving porn, but at the same time I don't.
Yeah. I wonder if this is a really good time for people that are into the whole feeder fetish too. Is this a pornographic holiday for them in any way, or because there's got to be some of those people that do the cam people where they're probably just sitting there eating like a full-on Thanksgiving dinner now.
Yeah, like a full meal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, you're 100% right.
Yeah. Lay off, I'm starving.
Oh my God, imagine that sad collection of people on Thanksgiving, all by themselves, pants around their ankles, watching someone else eat a full dinner online.
Yeah.
Which is with their goddamn Doritos fingernails and...
Yeah, you shouldn't have Doritos Locos fingernails.
Yeah, from digging in that bag all the time.
For sure, yeah.
Fucking Mountain Dew mouth.
Nice.
Just sadly beating off watching someone eat a fucking turkey and stuffing.
Yeah. This turkey's like me, so moist.
Oh, God. It's where, you know, like, all the hacking in everyone's laptops is the right idea, because everyone's laptop should have a little explosive device in it, and if they're watching that on Thanksgiving, they should all be summarily executed.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
It probably is.
Man. Oh, man. Whew, boy.
God, I don't even want to think about Thanksgiving cam girls now. That's got to be a thing.
It has to be. Oh, God, you know it is. Because, like I said, the whole feeder thing is out there, so it's got to be out there.
Someone's dressed up as an Indian. Super offensive.
Oh, obvious. Oh, God, you know there's going to be plenty of that.
Yeah.
Look at my sexy headdress and whatnot. Let me climb it. Oh, yeah, just terrible.
Send me some coins. I'll be your squaw.
Oh, shit.
It's like, will you?
For the record, we're not knocking cam girls. We're just knocking this part of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a cam girl and you do this, I'm knocking you.
Yes.
If you're just a cam girl in general, you're good in my book.
Whatever. Get your paper. Yeah.
Exactly. I've said it before on the show when I discovered the whole, you know, oh, you want to see my premium Snapchat?
Yeah.
When I discovered that whole world, I'm like, geez, all you need is a good looking titties and you're making bank.
Yeah. Especially as I've seen, from talking to people, I've seen kind of how that develops is that it starts as free. The girls amass like this massive following. Then they launch the premium Snapchat, whatever it is. And then basically they stop putting like nudes on the other feed.
Yep. It makes sense.
Oh, it does. Totally does.
First taste's free, baby.
Yeah. Well, they give it to you for like a while. Like they do it until they amass like a pretty large following and then they do it because they assume that the thought is that a good chunk of those people will throw money at you to continue seeing the nudes.
Why not?
Instead of just going, you know, the internet's got all sorts of nudes for free. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, because they almost build up a pseudo relationship.
Exactly.
You know?
is correct, sir. So it's a very interesting thing.
All I know is after a hard day's work, there's no one buying these Under Armour skivvies. No one. Pretty sure the washing machine spits them back out.
It just, the door closes as you approach.
Yeah.
Like, what? Oh my, is it locked? Like,
I don't care even if they got cool designs on them. No one's buying them.
Right.
Well, there's probably a select group of creeps out there that would buy them.
You just throw them like directly. I'm picturing you have, you know, like the old coal or wood burning furnace, of course. So, you know, you just go to throw them in there and they just climb back out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh my God. I guess they are heat resistant and they just attack you.
But I will, on the flip side, say, if I was a dime piece lady, I for sure know I could sell my worked in undies.
Yeah.
Because guys are fucking ghouls.
You are 100% correct, sir. I see it all the time on the internet.
Yep.
Oh man, just the thirst and just the level of stuff, you know, especially the stuff that always gets me is when women are like they don't even post anything sexual. You know, it's not even like, it'll be something like, oh, hey, I got, I curled my hair today or something like that. And the guy will be like, I'll give you something to curl it with, you know, and it's like, really? Like, there was nothing sexual about that. You just went from her going, hey, I think I look nice today, to wrap your hair around my dick. Like, you made that much of a leap, you know, and I'm not exaggerating. I've seen a very similar comment
Oh, I believe it.
So I'm not, and I'm sure women listening are going, oh, that's tame. And yeah, we get it. I've, talked and heard a lot, and I'm sure there's worse than I've ever heard or seen. So it's ridiculous. So anyway,
well, when you're in your late teens, early 20s, love the internet, super sexually frustrated.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure they come up with the most awful shit ever.
Oh yeah. It's
just because they think, I don't know.
It's just amazing to me. I can never understand. Like I said, in my head, I always put it into the context of having an actual conversation with someone in person. And I know the anonymity of the internet is what a big reason why that changes. But it's just, you just picture someone, you're sitting there talking with them and they're like, do you like my hair? I curled it today. And you're like, you want to wrap it around my dick? Like, that would be,
Yeah. Face to face, it doesn't work out so well.
No, and it's like that's not, I don't understand how someone's head goes, this is a good idea.
Now, how many times is that successful, though?
That would be the number. I'll tell you this. As over the years, I've become more and more interested in human behavior and such. Yeah. I would love to run a study on that. To, just find out from women how many times a guy has done something like that and they've been like, nice, and it's actually led to something else versus block or calling him out on the internet or, because that number's got to be minute. But a guy will always look at so you're telling me there's a chance.
Right, exactly. I would like to, do a Twitter search. Set up a new Twitter account, which for sure wouldn't use mine.
Come on.
But do a Twitter search for Mike and Ike's. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. And then just be like, every girl that's posting about Mike and Ike's, just be like, you'll say Ike when I stick it in your butt or something. And just see what the response is.
Can you make sure it says yo butt, not your butt?
Yo butt.
Yo butt. Yeah.
Yo butt. You almost need to set up a Twitter bot.
Right.
See if anybody responds.
Right. See if you get any good bites back on it. And then you could actually track the metrics on it.
Yeah.
These are the kind of things. This is why I should probably never be any sort of a behavioral scientist, because these are the studies I want to do.
Or it's the exact reason why I should be a behavioral scientist.
Right. Because I'm not going to lie, I would love to know what kind of number that is, how successful it's been, because it just, I've never seen anything like it work. But with the existence of private DMs and stuff like that, you wouldn't know, because a girl could, on the surface, be like, ew, and then actually be DMing the guy the whole time or something. I'd
be like, no, seriously, that's my fetish to have a dick in my hair.
Right, yeah, right. So you like Mike and Ike's, if you're going to put him in my butt, can you cram him up your dick first? And you're like, whoa, this isn't what I expected.
Oh, jeez.
But yes, no.
Maybe. I'm trying right now.
My record is 3 boxes.
Picks to come.
Yeah. Yikes. It's like a Pez dispenser.
Oh, God, that sounds terrible.
I know, right? Oh, it sounds awful. Yeah, so
there you go.
That was a good time.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to open the show.
I guess. Ooh.
Sexual behavior in the internet.
Yeah, yeah. So, if you're one of the people who buy into any of that kind of stuff, I don't know what to say to you. So, I don't feel like I'm going to apologize.
Are you talking about buying nudes and panties online, or
you know what?
sending girls odd shit?
No, here's what it comes down. If something gets somebody off, as long as it's not as long as it's consensual and it's not hurting anyone, or unless it is consensual, I don't have a problem with it. As long as it's not children or, weird shit like that or illegal. That I don't care about, but the other stuff is not consensual and it's really just creepy, as a guy, when I see another guy do stuff like that, I'm like, come on, man, you're making it more difficult for the rest of us. You're not helping us as a whole here. You're ruining it for everybody.
It's funny though. Now I'm going back to the dick and the hair thing.
You would, yeah.
Just because it's easy.
Right, a curling iron, gotcha.
Right. Mm-hmm. So Girl goes, hey, I just curled my hair. How about I stick my dick in it? Or I got something to curl it around, you know?
Yeah.
Now, flip side. Guy goes, just got my beard trimmed.
Yeah.
Girl goes, I got something to rub into your beard. Guy's like, okay.
Score. Yeah. Like, well,
Exactly.
I needed some beard Earl. Yeah, exactly. I know. And that's what it is guys want to talk to women the way we talk to each other, or, you know, or we want, in our heads, we want them to talk to us, I guess. However it is. I don't know. But you're right. You're 100% right. A lot of guys would be like, bring it on, girl. You know, like this seat's got handlebars and derp, you know, all those kind of things.
All that dumb shit.
Right. Yeah.
That's just funny.
It's weird. Yeah.
Exactly. No wonder, you know, in the homosexual community, there's so much sex going on. Hey, I just twisted my mustache. I got something you can twist it around.
I'll be right over.
Match made.
I mean, that's quite a blanket statement. I'm sure there are plenty of gay men that are not that way, but yeah.
Well, true, but
yeah,
from what you hear,
yeah,
the sex is rampant.
Right. That's a hell of a pickup. So how'd you guys meet?
Yeah. Well, he said he just twisted his mustache, and I said, I got something you can twist it around, and 15 minutes later, we were blowing each other.
Right. As you'll do.
As you'll do. And then we had breakfast,
right.
And here we are.
Here we are, 15 years later. Yeah.
Here we are, matching sweaters.
Right. Oh, man. If only it were that easy, right?
I guess, right?
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah. You'll never hear, so how'd you guys get married? Be like, well, I trimmed my beard up, and she offered a rubber vagina on it, and I accepted, and married.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. I haven't heard that story. I'm waiting. I'm hoping that story's out there. If you're listening and you have that story.
It'd be more like, well, I trimmed my beard, and she offered rubber vagina on it, and I've never talked to her again because she gave me herpes.
Oh, that'd be brutal, wouldn't it?
That's how it probably would actually happen.
Right. You get crabs or something like that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, the bartender's like, I see you don't have a beard.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to shave it off, bitch. I cried.
Yeah. Ooh. Like that dime piece you were in here with the other night? Like, yeah. More like a nickel now.
Yeah, oof.
Terrible. I do kind of want to hear more of those stories, though. Like, I want to hear stories where, like, that it was that way. That, like, you know, as sexually aggressive as men tend to be with their comments and whatnot on the internet, I would kind of like to hear more stories in ways of how the women were just like, yeah, you know, I, you know, basically just, you know, buried his face in my crotch and, you know, we've been lovers ever since, you know.
Exactly.
Like, he dropped a raisinette.
I rode him like we were at Churchill Downs. And
yeah, exactly.
Whoops.
Like he dropped a raisinette, I leaped on him. It was, you know, like.
Yeah, it's crazy. Isn't love crazy?
Yeah. You're like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, for sure.
These would make for way better stories too, because generally there wouldn't be, you know, the elements of creepiness. Like I think most people, that's the other part is the standard on it, is that people laugh more at that than, again, if it's told the opposite way. You know, because picture if you had a friend that, and you were like, oh, how'd you guys meet? And she's like, oh, I posted a picture, you know, after I'd curled my hair, and he was like, I got something you can wrap it around. You'd probably look at the guy and go, ugh.
like really?
What a scheme, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty weird.
Although I don't think it works the other way around, though, because if the lady goes, well, I offered to, you know, rub my pussy on his face.
Yeah.
I'm sure the guys would be like, sweet.
Yeah.
And the guys' wives would be like, what a skank.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so funny, the behaviors of everybody involved in these things. Good times. All right. Well, hope everyone's getting their beard oiled and their hair curled out there.
Yeah, I just bought a beard trimmer, ma'am.
Good shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess real quick here, I'll tell you about my week because yours is going to take a couple minutes longer. All right. Well, I'm about done with my week.
Oh, that was awesome.
No,
Brian.
I've had like a brutal migraine for most of the week. It's been a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, huh?
Yeah. Well, anytime our weather shifts, I get sinus headaches, and the weather's been like through the day it's like 60, then at night it's like 30, and some of the days like today it was pushing. Did it hit 70?
It was in the mid 70s today.
Jesus, I knew it was almost 70. I didn't know if it passed it or not.
Yeah, it was in the mid 70s, and then tomorrow the bottom's going to drop.
Right,
out.
I heard it's supposed to start nice and warm and then just nosedive as the day goes.
They're talking like 40s, maybe snow at night.
Awesome.
Yeah,
We can't bitch about the snow here because they're getting like blizzards in other parts of the country.
I don't care.
Off the same system though.
Right.
So it looks like we're going to probably luck out from it. But, yeah, anyway, so when the weather does that stuff, it throws me all over the place, but it's just, and then I got a freaking migraine on top of it to where I literally had a sinus headache and a migraine going at the same time. Like, it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Sigraine?
Yeah, Sigraine.
Sounds like an awesome villain. It
does actually, it's, or a terrible one. Like from my perspective, It was awful. It was, it was.
Now, from what I've discovered, because, instead of feeling like I've got a hot, rusty dagger jammed into my side, I just have a dull ache. And I think it's from not sitting on my wallet and my work gloves like I used to do, as weird as that sounds.
No, it makes sense, though.
Are you sleeping on your wallet?
I was actually. No. Wouldn't that be weird if that was the reason?
You're like, oh shit, I do keep it under my pillow.
You know what's actually weird though is, this has nothing to do with a wallet, but I found that I noticed when my temples hurt, it's weird, like the way I sleep, I've noticed that a lot of times that I do seem to put a lot of like pressure from my head onto the pillow right there.
Right.
So I've tried to shift my head a little bit to see because I'm wondering if maybe like that's what's going on is I'm getting some sort of like, I'm pushing on that spot and for some reason that's causing some sort of pain. I don't know. Migraines are so stupid anyway. They're just like, oh, you wanted to do something today or this week? Not so fast.
You have plans?
Yeah.
Well, allow me.
Yeah. It's like, I guess your plans are laying in a dark room and crying. More than normal.
Like, let me check my calendar. Yes, that is actually what I have done for this whole week,
excellent.
Really.
I'll block you.
Excellent.
Yeah, you just look at your phone and like on the calendar and it just all of a sudden updates. Like, like, hey, I wanted to hang out with you guys, but migraine came over and you know how he is. Ugh.
Fine. I guess we'll do our Mike and Ike study later.
Nice. But yeah, it's a little better today, but I'm sure with what's coming tomorrow, it'll probably be awful again. Sinus wise, at least it'll probably be terrible for me. So pretty sweet.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Pretty
sweet. So yeah, enough of that. That's been about my week because, a good 3 or 4 days I've been literally just wanting to lay around in bed. So, you don't get a lot done during that time.
No, that's brutal.
Yeah. So, how about you, sir?
Well, Brian, last weekend was the Passers by Pod Hot Wing Palooza Festival GoFundMe Feed the Kids thing.
This is the first I've heard of it.
And I participated, and we had a good time. We went up to we went cottaging,
right,
if you will.
Is that part of the Mike and Ike study?
Yes. Yeah.
Thought so.
It's it's code word for giving someone a good old fashioned rogering.
I thought maybe you were
in a cottage.
I thought maybe you were just cramming boxes of Mike and Ike's up your ass, and that's cottaging.
But so we got up there Saturday morning, and then Dev showed up, and I mean, big Dev from Snake Oil and Shot of History and all kinds of goddamn podcasts. Mm-hmm. That dude comes fucking prepared. Mm-hmm. He pulled in. And I went out to his car to help him unload. I'm like, dude, how much stuff we getting here? And he's like, yeah, the entire trunk. He brought cameras, mics, a soundboard. He brought a computer, not a laptop.
Oh, my.
A computer.
All right. Wow.
a deep fryer, all the wings. It was insane.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah. It was insane. And then Robert, who was the mystery guy that they were teasing on the GoFundMe, which is a friend of Matthew's, and I guess he grows hot peppers and stuff up in the area where Matthew lives, and he sponsored, I think, 3 or 4 of the sauces. He showed up, and then Matthew and his wife showed up, and let me tell you, Brian, because I'm a little shorter than Josh is, and the Jisk.
Right.
Also, the Risk's husband, he was there as well, and he participated. He was a surprise mystery 5th participant.
Yeah, he'll do that.
But, I'm just a hair shorter than he is.
Yeah.
I was the shortest guy in the room. Felt weird.
Wow. Yeah, that must be weird for you.
I'm looking around like, this does not happen that often.
Right, yeah. Because a lot of times I'm there to keep you, I'm there to, keep you tall.
Yeah, really. What's up with that? Where were you?
Sleeping.
But yeah, it was strange because, you've met Matthew. He's gigantic.
Yep.
And Dev's Dev, Big Dev. And then Robert's tall. It's like, God damn, this is fucking weird.
You went in the other room, put your tall shoes on.
I should have. My Al Pacino lifts.
Hoo-ah! Yeah. I'm 5'8" now. Hoo-ah!
Hoo-ah! No longer a little person. Oh, great. There's a cat in here.
Right.
Awesome. There you go.
That was nice and loud for everybody.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, he's such a vocal little ass.
Yeah.
Anywho. So, we're helping, I'm setting up and helping Dev so much as I can, and then it just hit the point, I'm like, all right, it's like 11:30. Who needs beers?
Yeah.
Which was pretty much everybody in the room except Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
right.
Recovery and stuff.
Sure.
Sober fella.
Right on. Yep.
So, we started cracking beers, Brian. Had some all days.
All day, yep.
Which was nice.
Right.
And then we sat down for the wings. And, have you watched any of the Hot Ones?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay. Well, the progression is 10 wings. Each wing is progressively spicier.
Right.
And they used all the same sauces from Hot Ones, with the exception of a bonus sauce. So we actually had 11 wings.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the first wing we had was just sriracha, which that's like, training wheels.
Yeah, I know. You pretty much drink sriracha, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I had, sriracha on my hard-boiled eggs and my lunch, like big blobs of it. It was awesome. Anyway, so I housed the wing, and everyone's like, man, these just aren't. And so the other tradition of Hot Ones is on the 10th wing, Spicy's wing, they do a dab, which they put an extra blob of hot sauce on the wing.
Okay.
So from wing 1, we started doing dabs.
Oh, jeez.
Right?
Yeah.
And Dev also brought up a bottle of Larceny bourbon.
Right.
So Josh, myself, and Dev all had glasses of bourbon. That but I had before I ate the wings. It is delicious.
Right.
And also thanks Dev because he left the bottle at the cottage and said it was a gift.
Right.
So it's now in my liquor cabinet.
Mm.
Appreciate it. But we started doing dabs right away, and it's, spice is spice, but it doesn't bug me. Some of the sauces were fucking delicious.
Yeah.
Right? But what really deep sixed me was on I think it was the 8th wing. The sauce is called Mad Dog 357. And it's 357 because it's 357,000 Scoville. You know?
Sure. So a little mild, right?
Dude, my dad was ridiculous. And immediately that was like, I did that, and Matthew provided like half gallons of milk for everybody.
Right.
Just started hammering like cupfuls because it was like so hot.
So who was the first one to break into the milk?
I want to say it was Dev.
Okay.
Which he was doing he said he was going to try to not do any of it, any milk through the whole thing. I'm pretty sure he tapped into it first.
Now, did you guys only drink the finest breast milks, or?
I wish. I mean, to be fair, Matthew's wife is pregnant, so I don't know if we could.
That would have been weird.
Squeeze any fluids out of her.
That would have been kind of weird, though, and I'm very imposing.
Kind of weird.
And very imposing as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
While you're here.
I mean, we didn't ask.
Can you top me off? Yeah, it's a little odd. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't ask, but you know. But so I also discovered while we're eating the hot wings, because in addition to the dab, the Jisk, myself, and Dev all decided after each wing we're doing a sip of bourbon.
Right.
Bourbon and hot sauce does not mix real well.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that'd be the best call.
No, it's like fucking throwing kerosene in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's not a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it was delicious, and I was starting to get drunk because I smashed another beer, and I was drinking like Miller Lite Tall Boys because we ran out all day.
Yeah.
And I got to say, the Miller Lite killed the heat real well. Like I'd like let it sit in my mouth, let the bubbles. It was like scrubbing bubbles. You know?
So it was like drinking bleach. Gotcha. Right.
Yeah, kind of.
All right.
Yeah, but when I was doing the Mad Dog, I was, no joke, milk, Miller Lite, milk,
Oh, God.
Miller Lite. It was a terrible idea.
That's the worst chaser I can think of, or one of the worst I could think of.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did it. Well, but we made it through all the wings. And the last sauce, the bonus mystery sauce, was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, like it took, like I was getting buzzed. It took me out of my buzz.
Wow.
It
Slapped you
so
right back to
spicy.
sober, huh?
Yeah, it was insane. Like just numb pain.
Right.
Right. But then it went away. But then part of, I think they're called Pocky chips. Pocky. This company sent Matthew a bag of their Carolina Reaper chips.
Okay.
And, you know, that's like the hottest pepper in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like corn chips. So it's got all natural Carolina Reaper powder on it. And they normally sell them individually in little cardboard coffins.
That's great. Yeah.
And they sent him a couple of those too, which he's giving away because we were drawing random names sort of thing, and people got prize packs.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
You know, we had a Facebook Live going, people were commenting. It was fun. It was cool.
Right.
But so we were like, okay, well, we did all the hot sauces. Now we got to do the chip, right?
Yeah, right.
So we did the chip, and the chip is it's like fire in your face, so hot.
Wow.
And it's worse than the wings because it's all powder and it just coats your mouth and your teeth, and it just doesn't go away.
That sounds like a blast.
Right. So we did the chip.
Mm-hmm.
And then because we're assholes, we did half the chip. I'm sorry. We did half the chip, and then we did the other half the chip with a dab of the hottest sauce on it. Oh,
Jesus.
Right?
Wow. Yeah.
For some dumb reason.
Right. Because you wanted to make sure that your innards were totally scorched earth.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So we did that.
Man. And
that was horrifying.
Yeah.
And I gave up on the bourbon.
Yeah.
Josh and Dev were still doing the bourbon after each one.
Nice.
Like I hit the point, I'm like, I can't do that anymore. It's retarded.
Yeah.
I can't do it, you know?
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah. Well, then Josh, wasn't even in the playbook.
Right.
Just showed up on a whim because he heard there was going to be hot wings. He likes spicy food.
Yeah.
Became the MVP of the day because he took a Carolina Reaper chip and he put generous dabs of the top 3 sauces on it.
Oh, man.
And then ate the chip.
Yeah.
And he ate it and he sat there for a second and then he stood up out of his chair and he kind of like ran in place.
Yeah.
And then he just vanished like a ghost. He just went outside.
I like the idea that he just basically spontaneously combusted instead. Just went poof.
I think that's what almost happened. Because we saw him, like, you could see him through because there's doors on each side. Mm-hmm. And he would walk around one, he'd walk around the other. He was doing laps. And then then we didn't see him. And I'm like, so I went out and looked for him.
Right.
And he was just laying on the concrete. And it was like, mid 40s. So it was pretty chilly.
Right.
Just in his t-shirt laying on the concrete.
Just trying to cool down or what?
I don't know. I'm like, are you all right? He's like, I'll be in a little bit. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
And after, talking to him later, he's like, the chip itself sucked because it was hot and spicy.
Sure.
But he's like, as soon as it hit my stomach, he's like, it felt like somebody just shoved a sword in me.
Wow.
And it was just like deep hurting. And he was out there like dry heaving.
Oh, God. Just reminds me of the Simpsons episode where Ralph does it taste like burning.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was, I'm sure.
God, that sounds awful.
I thought we lost him.
That would have been pretty awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just be like, see, it's no joke. This guy's dead.
I mean, I think I put down, well, what's a half of a half gallon? A quart? I put down a quart of milk.
Yeah.
Which is not good, because normally I don't drink milk. Like, I'm pretty sure in the middle of the video I said, is this a bad time to mention I'm normally lactose intolerant?
Again, picturing Anchorman, the milk was a bad choice.
During because the whole thing with the hot ones is, you eat a spicy wing and you get asked a question.
Yeah.
Because your brain's like, oh, fuck, I'm dying.
Right.
And so you don't answer great. So we were doing like would you rathers and stuff like that, which was fun. We had a great time, and I think it's going to become an event that we're going to keep going.
Right.
I'm not sure what the next theme is, if we're going to do wings again or a different sauce. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a good time though, but
next time just skip the wings, just do shots.
Oh, that'd be fun. Like bourbon shots?
Oh no, I meant hot sauce.
Oh, fuck that.
Bourbon shots would be interesting though, but I don't know how you would, like, it's not really a punishment of any kind until you get, well past a certain point.
Right.
And then it's like, this isn't staying in. And then it's a problem. But otherwise,
right.
Otherwise, you're like, this is delicious bourbons.
There was some of those sauces that when it was all said and done, I'm going to probably buy because they tasted really good.
Yeah.
There was other sauces that just tasted like pain.
Okay, so here's a question. So you had, what'd you say, 11 sauces altogether?
Yeah.
Okay, so where was your kind of top end? Like to where once you got past that one, you were like, this is too much.
It was that big blob on the Mad Dog 357.
So around 8, roughly?
That's when I ripped into the milk. But I mean, I did every wing, because at that point, you're like, I have 3 to go. What am I going to pussy out now?
Exactly. No, I understand. Yeah, I was just curious, because I assume you probably haven't completely, pushed yourself like this as far as to see how much you could tolerate. I'm just curious where your tolerance was, basically.
And I do say, I think there's a lot to be said about the ramp up to the end bomb of spice.
Yeah.
Because I watched one of those hot ones of Eddie Wan. He's a chef. And he's a Viceland guy.
Right.
And he ate the hottest wing first. And it derailed him completely. Like he didn't eat any more.
Oh wow.
He spent like 15 or 20 minutes in the bathroom. It completely derailed him.
Yeah. Well, I guess it makes sense, right? Going from 0 to 60 on the first one,
Yeah, when you're instead of the slow increase.
Yeah. Well, also you're nuking some of the stuff out of the way, like your taste, but you've got that burn already in there, so you like you said, you've built up a burn to where you're just adding a little to it each time.
Yeah.
Versus you're just I feel good. Oh my God, I'm on fire.
And like I said, a lot of those sauces, you take that first bite and you're like, God damn, that is good. And then it's like, whoosh.
Right.
And then some of the other ones, you bite it and it's like instant, just pain.
Yeah.
It's like, well, who even wants to eat that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never been a fan of those kind of, that kind of heat, It's like, I want to at least get some good taste in there first.
Right.
But, interesting. Yeah, I assume everybody finished the challenge?
Yeah, everybody made it all the way through.
Nice. I mean, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
So, because I know for a fact if I was part of it, there's no way in hell I would have finished it probably. I would have probably got to like 4 and been crying. So, because my innards just, like I said, I like hot stuff, but my innards just do not like hot stuff. So.
Don't fret. Then, later that day and the next morning wasn't too great of a time.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Ooh. Now, here's a question. Did any of you guys do any sort of pre-gaming to your stomachs before?
I don't know if those guys, I did not.
Okay. Cause I know, I've heard, or I read, a blog by Adam Richman, the guy who did Man vs. Food, where he talked about for one of the really spicy challenges about how the day before or for a few days ahead, he started taking Prilosec and, he was eating bananas because I guess bananas can kind of help coat your stomach, and they did a couple of things, and it wasn't so much so he could handle the heat right away, but it was to make the after part of it a little bit better.
Right.
But he made a comment that there's some pre-gaming stuff. I kind of wonder, it'd be interesting to you'd almost have to use the same person for consistency, and have them pre-game and do it once and then not pre-game and do it once and see if it's any easier for them.
Right.
But
well, I mean, the old proverbial quote unquote shitting fire aspect of eating hot things.
Yeah.
Didn't happen to me.
Right.
But I mean, from some of the messages I read from some of the other gentlemen, it's not like they had a rough time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like I'm very much all over taking probiotics every day. And so I don't know if maybe I just have, healthier gut. That's like, we got this, boss.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I imagine for the most part, most of you guys were probably like, you couldn't put out a fire with your piss after that. You'd probably be causing fires. So,
right. Yeah. For sure.
Mm.
But because it's like, I wanted to go in as, not knowing about anything as much as I could.
Right.
Because the first 3 sauces I've had.
Yeah.
So it's like, But, like when they start breaking out sauces, Matthew's like, hey, do you want to smell any of these or get a little taste so you know what you're in for? I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I want to go in completely new, like a rookie to all this.
I honestly think that's how you should do it. Because I think, especially if you're going to broadcast it, I think it makes it more interesting than, that way. Because you don't know what you're in for.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
If you smell it, you can get an idea probably of how hot it is, because the hotter sauces are probably going to burn your nose just smelling them.
Yeah, clear you right out.
Yeah.
And I guess to be fair, I had a little knowledge because the Hot Ones YouTube show, I've watched a lot of those episodes. Mm-hmm. So I kind of knew what to expect from some of the sauces.
Right.
But but at the same time, I have no idea what they taste like, no idea what they smell like.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Or the sensation that they brought me.
Yeah. I bet you could breathe really well through your nose by the end, aside from maybe just tears or something.
With the amount of sweat coming off my head and nose leakage.
Yep. So I've never found anything aside from an airbag smacking me in the face after a car accident that opened me up the way that spraying capsaicin right up my nose did. So
some of those sauces I'm sure would clear right the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. See, maybe that's what I needed. I had these sinus issues. Maybe I just needed to do the wings challenge.
I'm telling you. It was a blast.
Right? Like, listen, either way, you're going to be in the fetal position in pain. So this way, at least you can breathe.
Right?
Oof.
But then, afterwards, we cleaned up and all that good stuff. And we had those chips. And my son Logan comes out of the room because he was I kind of put him in charge of like babysitting. I mean, I really much appreciate the fact he was there because we had my niece and nephew, and it was a whole thing. And Matthew's kid.
Sure.
So he was kind of in charge of the kids while we did our thing. But I'm like, hey Logan, we got the hottest corn chips in the world out here. Do you want to try one? Thinking between my 2 kids, it's Leah that loves the spicy food, not him.
Yeah.
And he's like, sure. Like, okay. And I put it all up on Periscope. I got the video on my phone. I'm going to put it up on our YouTube.
Nice.
It's about 9 minutes of him having pure pain.
Yeah.
Because he's got dental appliances in his mouth.
Oh,
so
God.
The powder was all over them.
Oh, yeah. That's got to be awful.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And then he took a Ritz cracker and tried a dollop of the hottest sauce.
Yeah.
Which blew my mind. I'm like, where does Logan come from? That's death defying and breathing fire all of a sudden. I don't know. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't like melt the metal in his mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Fun
to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we, packed everything up and we're like, all right, now that we're not drunk anymore and no one's dying, we're going to head back up to Marshall, which is where Matthew lives, and go to Dark Horse.
That seems like a terrible idea.
Why wouldn't you?
Right. Listen, like I said, if I were there, I would have been like, let's do it. But
you gotta get some food, right?
Oh, well, that's true. You do need to get some food at some point that's not coated in the hottest of everything.
Right, exactly. So we packed up the cars and headed up to Dark Horse, and I love Dark Horse with one exception. You've been there. It's not so big inside.
No, it's not, yeah.
Beer garden's huge, though.
True.
But it was too cold to hang out in the beer garden.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And with Dark Horse, you walk in, and if you can find a table, great. If not, there's no waiting list. It's find a seat.
Yeah, exactly. It's one thing I don't like is it's like if they're full, they should have a waiting list.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, sure, come in and have a seat. That's cool, but
I
hate because when we were there were people literally walking around, like staring at people that look like they were about done. That makes for a really awkward experience as someone, because we had people do it to us when we were just about done. They keep coming up, walking up, and it's like, this is weird,
Yeah, like I might order 2 more pints now just cause.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah, kick feet up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I did the walkthrough just to see if I was like, and I wasn't staring at people, but I was just seeing if there's any tables maybe.
Mm.
But we had like 9 or 10 of us.
Which is also difficult to find there because
large party.
They don't have a lot of big tables.
So, so it was like, fuck. So we decided to go somewhere else. I filled a couple growlers.
Yeah.
Because, I brought some with me. Well, Jeannie brought some.
Right.
But, filled a couple growlers, got some Scotty and some of the 4 Elf Winter Warmer. Delicious.
Nice.
And then we went to, apparently, which was when Matthew was drinking, we went to his bar they used to go to. Yeah. Called the Coach House. I think it was called the Coach House or Stagecoach Inn.
Okay.
And it was a place I could see why he hung out there.
Mm-hmm.
They had good food. It was a good atmosphere. I got this Reuben that I burned the roof of my mouth on. It was awesome.
Which seems weird given what you had just been through. Yeah.
I know, right?
You wouldn't think you'd be able to feel it.
But I think I was so full of milk and shit.
Yeah.
Like I ordered a beer. I drank like half of it maybe. And I was like, I can't. Yeah. I'm so fucking done.
Right.
That was kind of a bummer, to be honest.
I could see where that would happen though, because like you said, drinking that kind of milk, especially somebody like you're not a milk person, so
no, I don't. I don't. Even when I drank milk on a reg and like cereal and stuff, I never like drank the milk when I was done.
Yeah,
it's never. Milk's never been my thing.
Right.
Yeah, but so we parted ways with those guys and went back up to that cottage, because Dev crashed with us that night.
Mm.
And then we had our pals Keith and Tori. It was Tori's birthday, and Jeannie was like, "Oh, she's coming to the cottage." They didn't show up till like 8 o'clock, which was weird.
Yeah,
because we all go to bed pretty early.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like right before you'd go to bed. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a nice fire going, and they showed up. We drank some beers around the fire and bullshitted, and we went inside and playing some games around the table. Now Logan and I were sitting on the couch. We let him bring his Xbox. And we were playing wrestling, which I've never played the new wrestling game before.
Mm-hmm.
Fired up a little.
Ooh, yeah. Nice.
Kicked his ass.
Excellent.
I didn't know how to do the elbow off the top rope, but I hit him with some sort of knee drop off the turnbuckle and pinned him. I was like, yeah, motherfucker. Look at your dad not knowing the controls, still beating you.
Beginner's luck.
But have you ever, what Rocket League is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Logan loves that game. He's like, "Oh, play Rocket League?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've played it a few times." I'm like, "Sure, I'll start playing." So we're playing. Then from behind me, I heard Keith go, "Oh, you guys got Rocket League?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I tell you what, Keith, once this game's over, you can tag in for him." He's like, "Oh, all right." So we switched. I started playing card games with the girls, and he was playing Rocket League with Logan. Gene and I went to bed, left those two up. Just playing Rocket League. they bonded.
Fair enough. I haven't heard it. It looks like it's a lot of fun. I just haven't.
It is.
I don't have it. Yeah.
It is. It's fun. It's it's playing soccer or hockey, basketball with cars that you can jump and do jet moves, and it is fun.
Yeah, Clint told me about it a while ago. Because I think it was on sale at one point, on both PlayStation and Xbox. But I just didn't have the money to get it at the time. But it looks like it'd be a lot of fun.
It's one of those things. If I upgraded my system, I would buy it.
Yeah,
it's like one of those fun casual. Like you can play a quick game in like 5 minutes.
Right. Yeah, that's what Clint was talking about with it. It's one of the things he said he really liked about it. You can jump in and out of it.
Yeah,
which is nice. Yeah,
you're not like sitting down and like, oh god, there's so much of this campaign I'm plowing through. We're just. Not that there's save points anymore, but when's this cutscene going to be over so I can go to work or whatever?
Your phone rings. You're like, you were supposed to be at work yesterday. I'm like, ooh.
Oh, jeez.
Whoops a daisy.
But, I asked Logan the next morning. I'm like, so how late did you and Keith stay up playing Rocket League? He's like, it was after midnight, I think. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. It was a good for only being there roughly 24 hours.
Right.
No, probably a little longer because we actually stayed pretty late in the afternoon. We had a blast. It was great.
That's cool.
We ended up, went out to breakfast, and oh God, I can't believe I almost didn't tell the story. New place we found for breakfast.
Right, because I knew you didn't go to the place we've gone because kids. Yeah.
Kids, yeah. We didn't go to Dave's Lake Shack because kids. We went to this new place called Stogie's, and it's in like an old farmhouse. It was really cool. Okay. And food was amazing. And they had this huge table. Like Logan and I walk in and I see the lady and I'm like, hey, we got like 9 of us or whatever. She's like, oh, we'll just take this huge table here. Perfect. Find out it's the lady's first day being the waitress and she has us.
Okay.
Like first day she's ever worked here,
Yeah.
And nice lady, but she wasn't doing a great job. She was all over the coffee. Like she brought us a carafe of coffee, which is awesome.
Right.
But I ordered what I think it was like called, I don't know, it was like their basically version of the big breakfast.
Yeah.
And it was like eggs and potatoes and meat. And then their specialty is granola French toast. I'm like, I don't usually eat sweet shit for breakfast, but bring it on.
Right.
It's been an off the rails weekend. Let's do it.
Right. Right.
So the food starts showing up and it's kind of erratic. Like it doesn't all come at once, which is always weird. But we had a big party. So like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she plops a thing in front of me, and it's like a bowl of sausage gravy. And I'm like, what the fuck? And, she's like, oh, that's part of your big breakfast. I'm like, oh, okay. And then, I'm getting shit like, oh, you should have read the menu. I'm like, I swore I did. So I'm cutting into it, and it's like biscuits and gravy with eggs under it and like some, it was good.
Right.
But I'm like, I don't remember this being on the menu. And then she comes by, and I'm like, I'm supposed to get French toast, right? And she's like, oh. And then, like, she gave my eggs and my sausage to my nephew because she thought it was his. So I was like, oh, well, I'm like, well, I had eggs in this, so I'll just eat his other sausage.
Right.
Or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll take those links. He can have whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
And, and then she comes up to me and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I wrote down your breakfast as this breakfast and not the breakfast you ordered.
Right.
But we're still working on it. But we'll get your French toast. I'm like, oh. And then she's walking away, and I thought she exited around the corner. I must have been louder than I thought. I'm like, man, she's really having a rough morning. And ever since I made that comment, every time she walked by, if I looked up, she was staring at me. And then she would immediately avoid all eye contact. And I'm like, motherfucker, I made her feel bad. And that's never
No,
my
it's
thing.
Not. You're right. Usually, yeah, you're right.
That's why I didn't say it to her when she left the room. I was like, I must have been louder than I thought. Which happens.
It does happen. You're right. Yeah.
So then I'm trying to like smooth it over every time she comes around,
Yeah.
Because like she brought me to front. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's fine, no big deal.
Yeah.
And still, she's avoiding contact and like not looking at me.
Yeah.
And the French toast, and when the French toast showed up.
Yeah.
I was full.
Right.
I didn't even want it.
Yeah.
But I ate it.
Because you didn't want her to think something was wrong, right?
Exactly. Like I tried to give it away.
Yeah.
To anybody. Nobody wanted. So I'm like I got like Logan ate a bite and I'm like, God damn it. So I housed it and it was good.
Yeah.
It was like they take French toast and and then they smash each side in like granola and then fry it.
Right.
It was pretty tasty.
Sure. Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, so then I go to pay the bill, and once again, her and the lady are like, "Oh, we're so sorry. We're so sorry about it." And I'm like, it's fine. You guys did a great job. I'm like, look at us. We're a bunch of animals. I'm sure you had to deal with us. Don't worry about it.
Right.
And then finally, I got them both laughing.
Yeah.
And then I left her a nice tip.
Right.
Because that's never my gig. I don't want to make her feel like she's like, I don't want her to go home and hang herself in the closet or anything.
Right. Or quit the job because she's like, I clearly can't handle this job.
Like,
yeah.
Huh? Just talk. It's fine.
You check the pie before you come to bed.
Oh, for sure. If it's not there in the morning, I don't know what happened.
I will kill you.
All right, I'll check it.
All right.
All right, love you. Smells good. Sorry, pie update.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we have Jeannie's coworker. She's throwing a quote-unquote Friendsgiving.
Okay.
Friendsgiving, Brian.
I understand.
No. Did you hear me? Friendsgiving.
So it's friends giving what?
I have no idea. Good call. I'm going to have to bring that up tomorrow.
I don't know. I need to know what the answer is.
If I walk in and they're playing Friends on a loop, I might just shoot the place up.
I think it's the only respectable answer. Anything else, I'll be so disappointed in you.
So disappointed.
Not mad, just disappointed.
Yeah. Good point.
I'll furrow my brow, if you will.
I would deserve a furrowing.
You would.
But yeah, so like I said, it was only 2 days there, but it was we had an awesome weekend.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Although when we were watching football, because we normally go over to the in-laws and watch it, and they have the red zone,
right?
So I don't see any of the horse shit that happens in between plays, and I don't see the pregame stuff.
Right, which you're not missing anything there for sure.
Yeah, we were watching ESPN pregame shit.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch ESPN pregame on Sunday?
I have. Well, you know what? I haven't this year, and I think they have a different crew this year.
Well, do not watch it, Brian.
All right.
Do not.
Okay.
Because they have this bit. And I can't shit on it too much. Well, yeah, I can. I can shit on it a ton. They have this thing called Moji Madness.
Okay.
Now, because you're in the Snapchat world, you know what a Bitmoji is, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's the little pictures. And I admit, I drank the Kool-Aid. I made a Bitmoji because I wanted the bonus stickers.
That's fair. I have not because, Bitmojis can just go to hell. But
I said I drank the Kool-Aid. But for sure would I never bring Bitmojis outside of the world of Snapchat.
Right.
Like these assholes are doing. They'll be like, here's something that's happening in the NFL world. And then it'll be, what's the dude's bald quarterback used to play for Seattle?
Trent
white
Dilfer.
guy.
Trent Dilfer.
It's Dilfer.
Yeah.
And it's, Randy Moss.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And they're like, hey, look at this weird situation happening in the football world, guys. And it'll be like, what do you think, Trent? And it'll be like, boom. And it's a Bitmoji. And he's like, oh, look, I'm spilling drinks. Or I don't know.
Ah, jeez.
It's horrifying. I stood there, like I kept grabbing in my pocket where I normally keep my work knife. It wasn't there.
Right.
Because I wanted to drag it across my neck.
Sure. As is tradition. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That's terrible.
It was horrible.
They used to do instead of that kind of horse shit. They used to do stuff where they used like the EA Sports engine, like from Madden, and they would show like a play on the something that happened on the field, and they would basically have it mocked up in Madden, like the positions of everything. And then they would actually, like, the guy would step in almost and be like, see, this is going, and like, almost like he walked right into the field and be like, this is where this guy is gonna, it was like doing a telestrator, but it was like the guy was on the field as part of it. And he goes, and then he'd step back and be like, okay. And then they'd start running it. They'd freeze it. And then he'd point something out. And that was kind of neat,
That's not terrible.
Yeah. This sounds just painful to watch.
That's not Trent Dilfer's Bitmoji with like a Bitmoji dick in his mouth or something.
Well, that would be a little weirder to see.
Actually, I would applaud that.
Yeah. Trent's up there. He just like peels open his dress shirt and it's got a Trent gives no fucks t-shirt on.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, I don't care.
I was completely turned off by the Bitmoji thing.
Yeah. It's funny is because I think a lot of people will be.
Oh God. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not Bitmoji Madness. As they called it.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was terrible.
Now, out of curiosity, is there any sort of like is there a Bitmoji company or something that sponsors them that's the reason they're doing it? Or is this just something they decided to do?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming it's the actual whoever runs Bitmoji because I mean, looking at them, it looks like the same animation, whatever, the same cartoon style as the Bitmojis have.
because obviously, like with the Madden thing, there was a partnership with them and EA Sports, because they'd always, right after that segment, there'd be a commercial for Madden, So,
I mean, I'm sure whoever owns them probably threw them a pile of money. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, feature, and it's just sometimes you got to turn your back on the stacks of cash to have some self-respect.
Yeah, well, if only ESPN's parent company had any money, they wouldn't have to take all these things, I mean, Disney is just struggling out there.
Yeah, they certainly are. Sorry, Annalise. You might want to start checking the classifieds.
Right. Next thing you know, she'll have to start doing Moji Madness at work or something. That'd be weird.
Oh, God. Like the perfect example is, like I said, I drank Kool-Aid and I have a Bitmoji.
Yeah.
If I had to pay for it, fuck that. I would never touch it.
Right.
But since it's free, I'll use it.
Yeah. I got real tired of them real fast when they were all over Twitter. Like, people were or Facebook, whichever it was, people were just constantly posting them.
I remember once upon a time when they first came out, I downloaded the app, because that was when you could make comic strips out of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, if I can make characters for us, and at the time Tate, I can make comics that have to do with the show.
Right.
And I'm like, that'd be cool.
Sure.
But you couldn't do that.
Right. And it's too bad, because you could have called
preloaded shit.
You could have called it Moji Madness.
I would have.
And I could have been
suing ESPN.
I could have been Stu Moji, Tony.
Yes, you could have been.
Ugh.
Yeah, I thought when I first saw them that you could make custom comic strips. I was like, this will be awesome.
Yeah, but
because you could get pretty accurate. Wow, my grandfather clock's going out there. Mm-hmm. You can be pretty, accurate on the details of the people, make them really actually look like the people.
Right.
Now, I'm like, this is an easy, and I'm all about doing it easy.
Yeah, you
an
are.
Easy way to do shit for the show, and it turned out not to work that way. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, I like them better with the Snapchat, because, the stickers. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know.
Yeah. Man.
Stop it.
Sorry. I was trying to
stop.
I tried to cover most of it while I muted the mic, but all right.
Dying.
No, God, that just makes me angry. It's like I remember the days of, Jacked Up and Come On Man and all this kind of stuff, and
yeah. Come on, man.
And now Moji Madness, huh?
Moji Madness. Yeah. Let's get away from Moji Madness, Brian.
I think I'm going to be angry about it the rest of the night.
Did you I'm going to cheer you up.
All right.
Did you by any chance see the picture I tagged you on Instagram right before we started recording?
Yeah.
How about that one-eyed Betty's?
Boy.
What was that, like 5 or 6 bottles of Pappy Van Winkle they had?
Yeah. How makes you wonder how the hell they procured that, doesn't it?
No idea. It said in the thing, today's the day.
Yeah. I wonder how fast they'll run out of it.
I'm sure it's gone.
Yeah.
It says get it while it lasts. I'm sure it's not lasting. I'd love to know how much actually, I should look up their website.
I don't know if they'll have it priced on there. I'm curious.
Just curious if they're promoting it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. I kind of wonder how much a pour of it is, too, of each one. Because I'm sure there's a variety of prices.
Yeah, definitely.
Based on year and whatnot. So... yeah, that's a lot of bottles of it, though, because, I mean, even liquor stores around here and stuff, they're on waiting lists, and then they've got waiting lists of people, for that kind of stuff, and when they get it, they don't get, like, 1,000 bottles or something, they get a very small quantity, obviously, because, each batch isn't that big, especially, the longer it ages, but, yeah.
Well, they're putting a thing in their blog that talks about them getting Pappy.
Yeah.
But, doesn't say anything about,
right.
anything else. All I know is I saw that post on Instagram and I got so jealous.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what can you do,
Yeah, I hear you. Live closer.
It's not that far. It's just...
yeah, I'd love to live closer to places that had delicious stuff like this.
I can't. We would need quite a bit of money, or we'd all have to take the tiniest sip off of each shot.
Yeah, exactly.
And share it that way so we could try it. But oh, here we go. They have prices listed. Someone asked them. I was just thinking about that.
Oh, nice.
The 10-year is $20, 12 years $25, 15 is $35, the 20-year is $55, and the 23 is and the rye are both $80.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yikes is right.
Yep. And for those listening, that's per pour. That's not per bottle or anything like that.
That's probably 2 fingers of it.
Yeah, probably. Yikes. Whew. Yeah, that's certainly more than my taste. No matter what level it is, even the 10-year at $20 a pour, that'd probably be it for the night for me.
Man, yeah, I'd have to try at least one of them.
Well, that would be the only other thing you could do is just have everybody throw money in and just get what you could get or something like that. And like I said, maybe everyone just takes the tiniest sip or something, but you want a decent pull on it, or a drink of it to really take it in and,
swirl. Well,
sure.
I would recommend maybe after some super spicy wings.
Yeah, that's probably the best time.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure they recommend it too. They're like, here, get something that'll blow your palate and then taste this.
Yeah, then enjoy some Pappy.
Right. This is very interesting. I've heard a lot of and read a few things online that talk about how, that a lot of bourbon aficionados and whatnot say that there's better bourbon for.
I've heard that as well.
For even at the same price point that there's better, but for less money. That the hoopla is the only reason that Pappy's really.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of it now is so you can be like, hey, I've got a bottle of Pappy.
Yeah.
People go, what?
Yeah, exactly.
If they're in the know, at least,
Right. I mean, and if it's someone I know, they're probably going to also have, home invasion soon.
Goddamn right.
Yeah. Man, all they stole was my Pappy Van Winkle. Be like, that's crazy. You should come over and have some of my Pappy while we talk about it. When did you get a bottle? Last night.
It's crazy.
Bought it off a truck.
Some guy who was wearing a mask had a crowbar.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
Mm-hmm. I didn't ask questions. Yeah.
Just the right place at the right time.
Yeah. I was just sitting in my living room. He knocked on my door. Like, this is really weird. I'm like, I know.
Like, I know, right?
And cops are like, you're going to have to turn that over as evidence. You just start knocking the bottle back. Fuck you.
I love it.
Ooh.
I would like to try it, but yeah, I've also heard that there's lots of bourbons that are better, or at least comparable.
Right. For a lot
that are
less
easier
money.
to get a hold of.
Right. That are I've even heard that there's a few in the like $30 to $50 price point that are, like near some of this, because the cost of a bottle of Pappy is, I forgot what it was, where I read about the price on it. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's one of those where, like, if I had it, I'd just be like, every once in a while I'd have a pour of it. And it's like, or I could just buy these other bourbons that are pretty good for a whole lot less money and drink it just whenever I want bourbon instead of it's a special occasion.
Like, I could see, because I want to say there was one time at the cottage, there's Gay's Liquor Store, just a phenomenal liquor store. Mm-hmm. And, once again, Josh is with me. We walked in and they had a bottle in the case.
Right.
Like, they got, like, that high-end case right by their cash register.
Yeah.
And he just went, I'll take it. And they're like, it's sold already.
Like, then why is it there?
Yeah, that's what he asked.
Yeah.
And they had, it was the 10-year.
Yeah.
And then they had, like, the 18 or whatever. That was, like, almost $300 for a bottle.
Right.
And the 10, I think, was $180.
Right. Which is crazy.
And he, yeah.
Like I said, I mean,
he had never seen a bottle in a store before. That's why he was like, holy shit, Yeah,
I've never seen a bottle in a store. I've been in a bar where they had it, but it was, like 25 or 30, something like that per pour. And I was like, yeah, it's no. Like, it's one of those, like, it's got to be the greatest damn tasting anything, because otherwise I can go buy a whole bottle of bourbon for that money, or a good chunk of a bottle of bourbon for that money, you know?
Yeah.
So,
like I could see if, you know, like, I don't know, like, say when Logan graduates college, if he enjoys bourbon, getting him a bottle, like, here, you know?
Oh, I was going to say, even if he doesn't, you could buy it and we'll just enjoy it. And
or like, you know, like when he gets married or something.
Sure.
You know, if he's into bourbon like his old man, like, here's a bottle of Pappy as your wedding gift.
Right.
You know, I could see something like a special occasion. You take a nip off it every once in a while.
Yeah.
But
otherwise,
for just having a bourbon in your liquor cabinet, though, I mean.
Yeah. That's why I said you could go buy so many other boozes with that same money.
Yeah.
And, you know, after listening to that Elton Brown podcast where him and his buddy did a bunch of bourbon tasting, you know, it's kind of interesting how at the end of it, they were both kind of like, I forgot what it was. There's one of the bourbons, it was like a $30 or a $35 a bottle bourbon. And they were like, I'd probably just buy this because it's good. You know, it's not great, but it's good and it's really cheap. You know, like you could just drink this all the time and not go broke.
Right.
So that's probably where I would end up anyway. But you're right. I could see having that nice once in a while or something. But,
I mean, I found myself really enjoying that larceny that, you know, Dev donated.
Yep.
And you know, Makers I've always been a fan of, and
exactly.
Buffalo Trace I like a lot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Sounds like.
And none of those are horribly expensive. Those are all like $30-$40 a bottle, I think. Aren't they? Yeah,
exactly.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
I have something I need to discuss too this week.
Okay.
That happened to me.
All right.
And I'm sure this has happened to you before.
Okay.
All right. Picture it, Brian.
Yes.
Picture it.
Sicily, 1942. Got it.
Sicily, 1942.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you walk into a men's room.
Yeah.
And there is a nice bank of urinals.
Okay.
They're all completely unoccupied.
Right.
Right? And they're the urinals that don't have the little, like, cubicle walls.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're just old school, like, bowls hanging out of the side of the wall.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you go up, you start taking a leak. A guy comes up right next to you.
Now, here, first question. Did you go to an end or did you go to the middle?
I was second in from the right.
Okay.
So there's still plenty.
Right. Well, I'm just curious because, like, if you went in the middle, it'd be like, you know, maybe it's more of a he goes to the middle all the time thing. Because I usually will go to one end or the other in that situation. So I was just curious.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't all the way over to the right, but I was almost.
So he's in the urinal directly next to you or like one in between?
Directly next to me.
Oh, so he's violating the one urinal policy to begin with.
Yes. There is a unstated men's room rule of the urinal buffer.
Mm-hmm.
He's in clear.
Yeah.
Now, I can only assume if you have all these urinals to pick from and you're coming right next to me.
Yeah.
You're looking at my dick.
Yeah, that's. I can't think of any other reason that you would, because I mean, what are you hoping for? Like, maybe you guys will lock arms, or
I exactly. It's like I didn't, and I almost said, "Really?" You know, when he's right next to me,
dude. Yeah, like there's like 15 urinals. You have
but I mean,
to take
it's not like. Yeah, exactly. And I know it's not an actual law, but it's kind of like code.
Yeah.
And I was on a college campus. I don't know if there's a young dude and he didn't know any better. Or well, there no more sound effects for us in the evening. Out of power.
Oh, geez. All right.
At least we got one Macho Man in.
True. All right.
I'll make my own dude mountain call.
Nice.
But yeah. So you know. He's clearly a hog peeker.
Right. Because whoever the male role model in his life was failed him, because, you know, that's one of the few things that, you know, dads teach kids is it's like, you know, you put a space there. Like, even if it's just one, I mean, although given that it's an open concept like this one, you know, one separation still enough that you could, you know, I mean, I guess really 4 or 5 probably still is too, you know, if you really want to, like, you know, peek at it. But at least it's a little less weird. You could be a little more sly about it.
Yeah, instead of just like, howdy, neighbor.
Yeah.
Like, what is it, tool time or
like,
whatever?
Like leaning on your shoulder while he's pissing, you know?
Yeah. Playing some sensual music out of his phone.
Sure. I mean, I do that normally when I host, even if there's no one in there.
I would love to have a little card, like you were in violation cards printed out.
Yeah, right? It's like there should be, like a, you know.
Just staple.
Someone just pops out of one of the stalls or something and they're, you know, flashing badges and arresting him. Like, sir, what do you think you're doing? I was just trying to piss. Like,
the old knee to the neck maneuver while he's still pissing.
Right. Wow. Well, he's on the ground pissing, right? Not like standing up.
Oh, exactly. Yep. Okay. It's all soaking into his belly.
Yeah. It's probably okay with that though. But
yeah. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're a guy listening and you didn't know that this unwritten rule exists, like at least one, like it wouldn't have been as bad if you would have had the wall there. You know, at least then you could be like, well, there is kind of some privacy there, but still most of the time you know, you can look right over them, but yeah.
And honestly, I mean, it's not as flagrant, as weird as it sounds, when you're at a bar and everyone's all kind of hammered.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, especially if you're...
kind of stumble in and...
Especially if you're at one of the first ones, because you figure at that point they're probably like, I don't want to walk all the way down there, or you know, it's like, this might be pushing their motor skills to begin with. So, yeah. Because I've done that when we went to Oliver House one time. You know, the urinals are like, you know, in the sinks, the way they're lined up there. I went to the first one past the sinks, and the next guy that came in went right to the next one. And I'm kind of, but he was kind of staggering, and I had that same thought, which was like, this dude probably just went to the closest one he could get to. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
shortest line.
Right, exactly. So I was like, well, I can't be too mad at that, but you know, been different if he.
I'll forgive drunken bladder. I will not forgive, 1:00 in the afternoon college bladder.
Right. It'd been funny if it had been one of those places where they have newspapers over the urinals and he's like leaning over, like reading over your shoulder.
Trying to do the crossword.
Yeah. It's like, 3 down is, and you're like, dude, really?
like, dude, seriously.
There's another one right there. Like, you don't have to do this one with me. It's weird.
We don't need to snuggle down.
Right.
What are we doing?
Not yet.
Yeah, later.
Right. Kids these days.
Well, I mean, that kind of sums up what I got. Besides business, I do have a website of the week.
Oh, do you? Wow. I have a shut up and take my money, or our money, but that's all I have. I don't have any stories or anything this week. After I just looked, I thought I did, and I really don't. So whatever you want to do first here.
Well, why don't we do like website of the week and shut up and take my money?
Okay. So
my website of the week, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't exactly a small niche website.
Urinaletiquette.com.
Yeah, I'm starting it.
Yeah.
No. AdultSwim.com.
Nice.
Because you can now stream all 92 episodes of Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, they've actually got a good amount of their shows on available for streaming. You know. The only downside is, like a lot of these things where they're like, oh, use our app. And it's like, now I have to have like 70 apps to, But yes. Or as we talked a few weeks ago, you can watch the, what was that show? Frankenhole.
Yes, exactly.
Yep, that's on there. And I know there's a whole bunch of other shows that they have through their app because I've used it in the past. So, awesome. And mobile friendly as well. If you use the site. Actually, I think it's through the site. I don't think it's through the app. I think you have to actually use the... Yeah, I may be wrong, but I think you have to use the site. But either way, the site, the app, whatever,
That is weird if through the site is better than normally the app and the site kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Oh wow, bizarre.
I agree. I agree. All right.
So what do you got for shut up and take my money? Since I know the soundboard.
Nice. I saw they revealed, or not they, but pictures started showing up of this one Funko Pop that's a Walgreens exclusive, and on the back of it, they have a picture of a Luke Cage on there. And I knew they were going to be making a Luke Cage one, and I expected it to be a little more modern looking, but nope, it's classic Luke Cage with the afro and the tiara Luke Cage. So
nice.
Yeah, it's one of my have to get my hands on because, you know, I'm a big fan of that. So sweet Christmas, if you will. I don't know when though. I didn't see a release date for it, but it's probably fairly soon because, you know, of it being on the back of a box now. So
now, do you think they'll have like a con exclusive Netflix version where it's like just him in a hoodie?
You know, I was
like
kind of
holes and shit in it or something.
Well, I was wondering, they may end up making like a line from the TV show. Like they made a line from the TV show for Daredevil, and they just, I think, announced Jessica Jones. So they're a little behind on making TV show pops, but you know, so it wouldn't surprise me if that comes down the pipe later, or he could be part of the Jessica Jones line. I don't remember. Like they haven't shown any pictures of him yet. But yeah, in the same series, there's an Iron Fist too, but I think they had an Iron Fist before, so. But I got to get a hold of both of them because, you know.
Did they have sound chips in them?
No, unfortunately, that'd be awesome.
You know? They
haven't yet.
Because I want a Killgrave that just goes, Jessica!
Right.
So.
Oh, God. So annoying. You know, it's something they could do. I could see it wouldn't be that hard probably for them to do it, but obviously the price point would have to change. But yeah, pretty.
Just a wee bit.
Right. But anyway, that's what I got for the pop-up date or shut up and take my money, however you want to look at it.
Shut up and take my pop-ups?
Sure, why not?
All right. You want to cover some business?
Yeah, we can do that before we do Dude Update.
All right.
Or Dude Mountain Dude Update.
Dude Update. Dude. Well, I have to preempt this business by saying, I really wish our website provider wasn't so dirt cheap at a measly $4.95 a month, because they stopped supporting outside HTML codes.
Oh, really?
Which means our Amazon link no longer exists on our website.
Oh, that sucks.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out a workaround, but I haven't figured one out yet.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, that really stinks.
I know. So if anyone uses Wix as a provider and knows a workaround for HTML codes, because it's like basically what they said is like, if their developers don't come up with the HTML code, they're not going to allow it.
Ah, okay.
It's like, you guys suck.
Right.
How about us Amazon affiliates that, you know, like to get a little nickels and pennies every so often?
Right. Yeah.
It does, you know, explain why it's kind of dropped off a little bit, I think.
Fair enough.
Because around this time of year, more people are doing some shopping and this, that, and the other. But I mean, it doesn't seem like that long ago that I was clicking on it and it was fine.
All right.
Fair enough, right?
Yeah.
Because I was going to make a little clever little Snapchat promoting us and us again, because we now have T-shirts available on Amazon.
T-shirts, you say?
T-shirts. You just search Salty Language shirt in Amazon and boom, it pops up.
Of course,
multiple sizes.
We'll have a link for that in the show notes, of course, too.
Well, of course. Yeah. Yes, of course. The only weird thing is, for some reason, there's a couple of the shirt sizes that cost way more than I told them it should cost.
Yeah.
I don't get that at all.
We may have to contact them and see about that or something. I don't know. Because that's really weird.
Yeah, well, the only thing I can figure is because like one of them is the male medium and black.
Yeah.
It's $21.69, which I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But it says once it's available.
Okay.
So I don't understand if it's not quite available, if they have to use a different t-shirt. That's why it costs more. I don't know.
That's very strange, no matter what. Yeah. But,
yeah.
Yeah. So if you happen to be that size and you want one of them, you may, maybe hold off just a hair on ordering that until we can straighten that out.
Yeah. Well, you can get the same size in a different color.
Right.
And it's $15.
Right. So, or
the
that.
low cost of $15.
Right. So there you go.
And if you have Amazon Prime, it is Prime supported. So you'll get that shit in like 2 days,
Boom.
son.
Free shipping.
Free shipping.
Nice.
Do you want to be extra sexy and sensual with salty language gear on?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Exactly. And I also, it's interesting when you put up a shirt, you have to send it to Amazon and they have to review it.
Sure, to make sure you're not putting anything offensive up.
Exactly, or probably copyrighted or whatever.
Sure.
So the like loose fit shirt is up. Next is going to be the same, like our logo and our website and colors, in like a more slim athletic fit if you're into that.
Right.
And then we'll have to figure out what else we're going to put up.
Fair enough. All right. Cool.
But so there you go. And it could have, the description, it's a sexiness enhancer. So you should probably buy one.
I don't see, there's nothing lying in there. So
exactly.
It's the true. It's the true, not the truth, but it's the true.
It's the true.
The true. You heard it here first. It's the true.
The true.
Jesus. Words are my friend. Oof.
Words.
Excellent. And if I get off my ass, we'll have another design before too long too. So.
Well, I don't. Well, I was about to start talking about ideas, but we do enough spitball on the show,
right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right.
And of course, freepodcastgarbage at gmail.com. If you want to send me an email, I'll send you something.
Right.
Maybe a you are in violation card.
Nice. If you do happen to want to shop on Amazon and you want the link, I have the link independently for, the referral thing for Amazon. So if you want to, you can hit us up and I can send you the code so that you can enter the URL and do it. But
yeah, I'm trying to figure out somewhere.
Yeah.
We can put the code, or I don't know. I'm a little frustrated right now I just discovered this like 40 minutes before we started recording.
Okay.
As I was getting my new studio set up because I was trying to get stuff ready. And
sure.
I wanted to have the link because I was going to be like, hey, click on this link and then buy a shirt from here. And then I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, where's my link?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll figure something out. Yeah.
Damn it.
I don't know how, but we'll figure it out, damn it.
Yeah, we always do, man.
Yep.
We always do.
Yep. All right. So, any other business?
No, just I wanted to cover the shirts, say our website provider sucks. And, yeah, that's it.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah. Although I think I can, I have to do a little investigating. I think I can add a merch page to our website.
Okay.
So I'll see what I can get going on there.
I think there'd be something like that to where you could add like an external link for like a store or something like that. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, enough spitballing on the show though. So
enough spitballing.
Right, so actually, before we move into Dude Mountain, I forgot there was something I was going to talk about, which was I finally watched Firefly.
Oh, I didn't know you'd never watched that.
Nope, I had never watched it. And the other night I was trying to decide what I wanted to watch, and as I was flipping through Netflix, I was like, you know what? I've been putting this off for, I don't know, ever. And, and there's only 13 episodes, so I was like, I'll burn through, or 14, whatever it is. Like, I'll burn through this real fast. And sure enough, I did, cause it's funny though, like the first episode of it did not grab me right away. Like, there's a couple moments that I was like, with the writing and stuff. But there was a lot of it that I was like, I don't know, man. And then but again, I wasn't going to give up on it. I was going to keep watching, and by the end of it, I was just completely hooked, there's all sorts of good comedy and whatnot all through it. It was, it's like, I have a very love-hate relationship with Joss Whedon. Like, there's stuff like the way dialogue is done in his stuff, I like. But in some of his other stuff, like, I don't like it. It's, like on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when it first started, the way they were trying to cram quips into everything and do all this fast, it annoyed the shit out of me. But on Firefly, the quips and stuff fit and it cracked me up. So, I ended up really liking it though. So it didn't live up to the hype only because the hype has, for years and years and years, where everyone, oh, it's so good and I can't believe they canceled it. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'll look at it. I can totally understand why they canceled it, because the feel of the show doesn't feel like the kind of show that networks tend to give multiple seasons to,
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Now,
but
I
really do think
you watch
Serenity?
Yeah.
Not yet. That's soon. Yeah. No, I didn't, only because I saw that on the FX app. They put season 3 of You're the Worst in there. So I started watching that because I really enjoy that show. So
that is fair.
And they're fickle about how long they leave stuff up sometimes. So I want to grab it while it's there. But yeah, I'll be watching that soon though, because I definitely want to see it.
Right on. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've kind of thought about rewatching it because why not?
Right.
Maybe introduce my kids to it.
It does really stink that there's so many questions they didn't really even touch in the season. It's kind of funny because it's the one major complaint I have is that I don't know that they really push the development of the characters or giving you any of their backstory through the whole first season. You really don't get much backstory on anybody through the whole season.
Not really.
And they all have things that you'd kind of like, they give you a little taste, but that's it. And I know it was probably the plan was over 5 years to really unveil stuff, but it was kind of weird how it felt like they should have given me a little bit more about some of the characters, like the shepherd is a great example. They keep having him, he shows that he's, good with a gun. He clearly has fighting skills, all this stuff. And, they keep showing that he has secrets, but I can't think of any time he never has to answer any of them. Like when he gets hurt, he has that ID card that gets him like top quality care. And, it's like they do all this stuff, but they don't really give you a taste of, or a hint really as to why.
Right.
It just happens, and then he's like, someday I'll tell you, and then they just move on. It's
but maybe it's like next season I'll tell you.
I think that was the intention.
Winky.
I think that fully was the intention, was over, like I said, 5 years or something, or 3-4 years, whatever. But it's kind of frustrating because there's no more.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but anyway, yeah, I'm with you. If somebody hasn't watched it, it's a good watch though.
I think what really attracted me to it is I've always liked a good Western.
Yeah, and it definitely feels like it.
It's like a Western in space. It's kind of like Borderlands almost, because Borderlands feels like a Western too.
Yeah, that's true. It does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I've always, it just worked for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It really was like a Western in space. I mean, so, yep. So yeah. All right. That was all I had before we did the other. I kept forgetting or almost forgot all about it.
Well, geez, I'm glad you remembered.
Yep. So
I think next week we got Dude Mountain and no epic music. Oh, damn dead soundboard. Last week I turned the board off, my Kindle off.
Yeah.
And it's just sat on my little office desk here all week. Shows you how much reading I did this week.
Right. Clearly a lot. Yeah.
Clearly a lot.
All on bathroom walls.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, wow. Actually, I saw some good ones today. I wish I had my phone on me, but I was so busy at the time. I was just running around. It was someone drew a full blown lady's butt, and it was like, grab her by the booty. And,
wow.
Another person's like, who wants to fuck me? And then someone added your Uncle Phil. It was a whole thing. I was like, I'm going to remember that stall because it was at campus again.
Yeah.
Just a different part. And, I'm really hoping it doesn't get painted over before I can get a picture of everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you walk into a bathroom stall and you're like, holy shit, look at all this goodness that's going on here.
Nothing to me will beat that bathroom I walked into at, I can't remember the name of the place now. When I went to Ann Arbor to see, the thermals.
Right.
God, what was it? What was it, like Batman humping the refrigerator or whatever it was? That was ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That was just on the bathroom wall, though. That wasn't, in a stall. So, all right.
You'll staller.
Yep. So, all right. So let's do some Dude Mountain.
So once again, the bottom three have not wavered at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. It doesn't look like Neil put any of his picks last week, or he's just terrible.
Boy, I hope it was that he didn't put any picks in, because to miss all of the picks would be terrible.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm a moron.
Okay.
Yeah, don't mind me, because now that I'm looking at it, it's showing never mind.
Okay.
He just missed Thursday's game.
Oh, okay.
I'm quite dumb, Brian.
That's fair. I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah, exactly. So, the plan, Clint, buddy, homie, we've been hitting you up in the kick group.
Dude, yeah.
What are you doing, bro? It's starting to become the point where there's no way you could possibly catch up. You are going to be the bottom of Dude Mountain. Do you want that?
Yeah, unless someone takes like a wicked header toward the bottom and just quits filling theirs in, you know.
And then he goes on a turn and starts tearing shit up. I guess it's possible.
That's pretty much, we've got to be very close to that point, because we're in week, 12 or 11 or whatever, so yeah.
Sorry, tired. Clint. Geek Dig Podcast. Mm-hmm. Soaking up all the fluids of Dude Mountain.
Right.
Just slightly above him. Actually, not slightly. More than double his total score. You got our pal Neil, John Von Glissons from Daft Pod.
Yeah.
And then above him by not much. He's got just a point and a smidge lead on him is Beagley from Green Up, which also has Clint. You think they'd be maybe talking? Maybe they're conspiring to take over the bottom half of Dude Mountain.
Maybe they're
they're going to put villages and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going to put like merch booths up at base camp. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Then you got all of us losers in the middle. I'm part of that group. Then let's go to top three. Top three. You got my main man across the internet from me right now. The Salty Kings, Brian.
Yeah, I've had really rough 2 weeks. I've been definitely on the way back down.
Hey, you were in a gold medal position for a while there, and now you're on the bronze podium.
It's tough to stay at the top, man. You got a target on your back the whole time.
It's true. It's true. Mm-hmm. Just 1 point ahead of you. You got Garrett, the Space Pope.
Yes.
Doing his space preaching out there. I'm assuming there's some sort of cathedral on an asteroid, and he's, in the whatever belt. I don't know.
The whatever belt, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And then, by some unknown miracle, probably the blessing of the Space Pope.
Probably, yeah.
You got Jeannie of Salty Language, my wife, Lady Space Violence, who's got a 5-point lead on everybody.
Yeah, she's had like the 2 best weeks of the last 2 weeks. I know,
it's insane.
Yeah.
And I've sat next to her when she's picking her games.
Yeah.
So it's not like she's researching anything.
Right.
She's got the touch.
Yeah.
She's got the touch. Dun, dun, dun.
The point spreads messed me up a couple of times, and to where I picked the right team, the point spread was, they didn't cover, and that's why I was looking at this week's, and man, there's a lot of big scores this week. There's a lot of 6 and 7 plus point spreads this week. I'm very curious to see how it turns out.
Yeah.
Because usually there's 1 or 2 that are like that, and then the rest are like 3-4 points, But this week there's 4 or 5.
You got your Thursday game.
Yeah.
You did better than I did. I did not.
I'll tell you, it's only because originally I went the other way with it, and I switched it. After doing all the other picks, I went back and switched that one because I knew that a lot of their games have been close. But I also was just like, man, the way the Saints have just been coming from behind on teams like all year. So,
Yeah, I picked the Saints originally, and I was like,
Yeah.
It was. And I should have stuck with my gut.
I'll tell you, I was. That field goal, that blocked field goal would have made a difference there.
So yeah, I guess there's your Dude Mountain update.
Oh, wait, no, whatever. That was points anyways. Yeah, never mind. So, yeah.
Blown away that my lovely wife is leaving since she cares jack shit about football.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you, anybody can win on Dude Mountain.
It's true. It's true. Well, like I said, she's had 2 great weeks, and most of us, like last week, almost everybody had a terrible week except her, and I don't know if anyone else had a good week. Like, I know she had, like, I think another 10-point week, right? Or 11, something like that.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and
you know, I gotta say, our pal Henno, your co-host of The Crazy Life,
yeah,
his dogs are picking quite well because he's been in the top 5 the whole season.
Right.
And he's letting his lovely doggies pick his games for him. Which I think is hilarious.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess let's move into some Q of the W.
Q to dubs, Brian. Q to dubs.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, what the fuck just happened to my thumb? Jesus Christ.
That's just a thumb.
That's Q to W. What happened to my thumb? Last week we asked people what political party would they create.
Mm-hmm.
So, from the face pages, I got Jared, our homie at Ridiculous Ramblings, and Dude Mountain. He's one of the losers in the middle.
Yeah.
He chose the WWB party, Whiskey, Weed, and Boobs, because it's impossible for anyone to turn down that trifecta of happiness.
Fair enough.
Which,
they may not like one part of it or something, but across the board, probably going to get a 2 out of 3 on most people.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially where he lives. You know, it's full on recreational now for him.
Oh, that's
They legalized recreational boobs.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Oh, that's trouble. Before they were just medicinal.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing worse than calloused up working man boobs.
Yeah. That's terrible.
It's terrible. I don't know why I said it.
I don't either.
So let's see. Our pal Big Dev, first milk drinker.
Mm-hmm.
He puts the snake oil party, because when we fail to deliver on promises, people won't be surprised.
That's a good point.
It is accurate.
Yeah. The debates would be interesting.
The debates would be interesting, yeah.
Because Dev would rules lawyer, and just that would be like the whole night would be him rules lawyering everybody.
I kind of like to see that.
Yeah.
Bag of dicks. That's, geez, I'm skipping ahead. I'm tired. It's been a long day. Our pal Henno, your co-host of Crazy Life, and he's also from Gotham Lights and Moving the Needle, right?
Mm.
Yeah. He's on too many shows. Oh. But he's not.
Right.
Anyway, Henno says the BOD party, the bag of dicks. Our slogan, eat a bag of dicks. Our tattoo, see image. And he sent an image of a tattoo of a bag of dicks. And it just says, eat one in the banner across the bag.
Why would you get that tattooed on your person?
I have no idea. And they're not just dicks, they're like veiny dicks.
Of course they are. Because, think about it. If you're the tattoo artist, are you just going to put random dicks on there? Or are you going to put them, you want them to be pretty graphic, right?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
He also then came in with another image. It almost kind of looks like, it's not the Monopoly Man, but it's the same kind of artwork, like you see a Monopoly card.
Okay.
And the guy's hauling a large bag, and it just says dicks on it. And it just says bag of dicks 2018. So I guess he's running.
Wow. Oh, well, congratulations.
Henno's got my vote.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, if he's going to reenact the space program and then paint a giant dick on the booster rocket, I'm in.
Right. Not to mention, I mean, we've established previously on the show, you're definitely a fan of a bag of meat sticks. So
this is true. It's funny. Is for dinner tonight we did breakfast.
Yeah.
So I had just a mess of scrambled eggs. Because ever since I listened to the Sporkful podcast where they interview Alton Brown,
which I haven't listened to yet. Yeah.
Alton Brown apparently has a scrambled egg journal.
Okay.
Where he's trying to perfect the scrambled eggs, and he says what he loves to do is he scrambles them with a little bit of mayonnaise.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm going to try that. And I tried the other day, and it's fucking delicious.
Okay.
So I did it again tonight.
Yeah.
And then Jeannie bought bratwurst, right?
Sure.
And they're jalapeno cheddar brats.
Okay.
And I bit into the first one. I'm like, oh, these are so good, because my favorite land yager that House of Meats has is the jalapeno ones, and they have cheese in them too. So I'm like, I'm guessing this is the sausage that they turn into that Landjager.
Probably, yeah.
And then my brain shifted into the second gear where I went, holy shit, when we buy that grill, I can make my own Landjagers.
You're not wrong.
Yes, the grill from last week.
Yes. Even more reason to buy the grill now.
Yeah, so I'm still stuck on that, by the way, as you can tell.
I don't see a problem with this.
Me neither.
Right. Seems fine.
Anywho.
Between that and a bottle of Pappy, that's the better investment. So,
Indeed.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bag of Dicks 2018. I also have an answer from my wife, Lady Space Violence. She has the BDSM party where everyone enjoys a good spanking. That's their motto.
No, that's fair enough. Now, what if a person didn't enjoy a good spanking? Could they still be part of the party?
Maybe they like to deliver that said spanking.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right, yeah. Or watch. All right. Yeah.
Watch, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe.
Room for everybody. Yeah, sure.
Maybe dip the spanker's hand in hot oil or something.
Right. Serve hors d'oeuvres, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, finger sandwiches.
Yeah. Just picturing that's going on and someone's walking around with a tray of finger sandwiches. It's just seems a bit odd, but
so some champagne.
Yeah, sure, of course. Champagne. All right, you got any more? Or is that the end?
No, that's all I got from my end of the Q to W.
All right,
you got any on your end?
We got 0 on Twitter, so shame on all of you.
Shame.
And
shame on you.
Fluffy Bunny Ash sent in that her party would be the pizza party. She said it should be self-explanatory. Who doesn't love pizza or a pizza party?
You know, whenever pizza party came up in school, it was the highlight of the week.
See, that's what I'm saying.
So
yeah.
It sounds like a winning political party.
I like it too because it's not about the negativity. Although there's going to be infighting because of toppings. I mean,
this is true.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Unless there's plenty of pizza to where everyone can just kind of get what they want. Like if everyone gets their own za, then
right. Then personal za.
Right. Then we're cool, bro.
Indeed.
But but she's right. She's right. Whenever pizza parties come up at work, a lot of people get excited when they're like, "Hey, Friday, we're going to need you to stay an extra 20 hours, but we're going to give you pizza." People are like, "Oh my god, pizza!" So
you make a good point.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't know why the pizza party doesn't exist because it sounds like it would win.
Yeah.
Especially with all this recreational marijuana coming around.
Right. I agree.
Shit writes itself.
See, yeah, exactly. You should get on top of it.
Right.
So there you go, Ashley. You should start getting the groundwork laid now.
Damn right. I'd wear a little like silver pizza pin.
Right. Or I mean, the buttons would just be like pizzas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's just perfect.
Yeah.
There'd be like almost no graphic design needed for this.
Pizza cufflinks?
Right.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. The t-shirts and the signs just look like pizza boxes or, some sort of pizza place logo. Be perfect.
Absolutely. Pizza party.
Right.
2018.
Yep, exactly.
So it's going to be pizza party versus dicks.
It's going to be tough for a lot of people.
It's going to be real tough.
There's a lot of people that eat plenty of both. Or should eat more of one than the other.
It's true.
We'll see. All right.
Never eat a dick that looks like a pizza.
But definitely get the big sausage on the pizza.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Get the sausage on the pizza.
Nice, yeah.
Never get the pizza dick, though.
Oh, I don't have any money to pay for that pizza. I'm sure we can come up with other ways. I think you're right. Here's a check. Yeah. All right. So that's all I got.
All right. I almost feel like we've done one similar to this.
Okay.
But I kind of wanted to talk about it anyway. So, and maybe you'll correct me.
This is about Landjager, isn't it?
Of course it is. That's all I can think about. No.
Landjager and pellet grills. That's all you're thinking about right now.
Dude, you have no idea.
I'm just picturing you're sleeping instead of like images of sugar plums or whatever dancing in your head. There's just like Landjager and one of the grills, and they just keep going in circles.
Goddamn right. The grill opens, like some smoked meat comes out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. I'm all in.
Yeah, I bet. All right, anyway.
Anywho, I would like to know, Brian, if you could will it out of existence, what movie that doesn't have a sequel would you make a sequel to?
Ooh. Man.
Because I've had a couple rummage around through my head. Like, I think you could easily make like Dodgeball 2. Even dodgier. It's got a nice it's got a nice little catchphrase.
You're right, it does.
You know?
Oh man.
Or I think this is the one I'm leaning on myself.
Okay.
Is I kind of think they could absolutely do Top Gun 2.
That was actually the first movie I thought of.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you got, Tom Cruise who still looks like Maverick.
Yeah.
You got Val Kilmer who looks like 3 Val Kilmers.
It's true, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it would have to be something goes AWOL in the country, and they got to bring these guys back.
Well, yeah, obviously, right? Yeah, 'cause especially with Tom Cruise being like 50.
Yeah.
Man, that was the first one I thought of. Because some of the others I thought of were, like I was trying to think of what movies people would have been like, oh, I wish they'd make a sequel to, And like Beetlejuice is one that's always been on people's line, but they keep talking off and on that there's going to be, then there isn't, then there is, so.
Right.
I kind of moved away from that one.
I mean, with the kind of shape Stallone's in, you could easily do Over the Top 2.
Finally. Can we get a No Holds Barred 2? Hogan and Tiny Lister? No, anyway.
Please, let's do that.
Oh, God, no, let's not. They already did Jingle All the Way, too, so I can't pick that. Those sons of bitches.
How dare they?
Actually, I think I don't know if they did. I can't pick Kindergarten Cop because there's a sequel to that. It's got Dolph Lundgren in it.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
I was completely unaware of this.
Yeah.
I like Dolph Lundgren. There's Arnold happens to have some sort of weird comedic air about him.
Yeah.
How the fuck is that funny?
I think you're underestimating Dolph Lundgren's comedic acting, my friend.
I don't know.
No? All right, fine. Man,
he's got a nice 4.4 out of 10 on IMDb. That's sick.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, I could go Pootie Tang too. Even pootier.
Even pootier.
That was the other way I was leaning, is like, you know what? I'd love to see a Black Dynamite too.
That would be amazing.
So, you know what? I'm just going to go with Black Dynamite too, because I enjoyed Black Dynamite a whole lot. So, and if I'm going to pick between that and Pootie Tang for a sequel, I'm going to go with Black Dynamite.
That's fair.
It's close. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Black Dynamite in a while. I really wish it was on Netflix still.
Me too.
Because I kind of want to watch it again.
I totally agree. I would also like to watch it again.
Wow, not only did it star Dolph Lundgren, Brian, it has Bill Bellamy in it.
See?
As Sanders. Assigned to recover sensitive stolen data, a gruff FBI agent goes undercover as a kindergarten teacher. But the school's liberal, politically correct environment is more than he bargained for. Ugh.
Wow, that's just... First of all, he's not a cop.
Oh, this came out in 2016.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Ivan Reitman is probably like, is he dead? Is he wanting to murder people? He's probably making nice money off of this.
Probably. If not, his family is.
Yeah. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm still completely stuck that they made a sequel to this.
Yeah.
This is a movie they should not have made a sequel to.
I'll be honest though, I'm surprised that they went with someone like Dolph Lundgren and they didn't go with someone like Kevin James or something like that, you know. They actually tried to go with somebody who's more of a...
Like a badass?
Yeah, instead of going with somebody who's just the old bumbling idiot character. Ugh, man. What a terrible idea it was.
Yeah.
Right.
This is one of the ones that didn't ever need a sequel, like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, totally.
Did not need a sequel.
No, it was fine as it was.
Or what was the Jim Carrey movie, something Almighty, Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty, yeah.
Didn't need a sequel.
Yeah, it certainly did not.
Or another sequel.
They had two?
Didn't have two? It didn't have...
I don't know, Steve Carell was one. Yeah, that was Evan Almighty.
Oh, that's the one I'm thinking. I thought that was the third one when he was like a Noah type character. We watched it, and I was like, let's Noah watch this again. Guys?
That's terrible. It's terrible. Oof, put that thing on the bottom shelf, Tony.
Oh, boy, I know. Right down there with the, I don't know, stuff.
Yeah, so what other movies did you think of? Because you said Top Gun. What else were you thinking?
Top Gun. What was the other one I said? I
forgot.
Oh, Dodgeball. I
right.
do think you could make a sequel to Dodgeball.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zoolander already got its sequel.
Yeah,
so.
Zoolander got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think old school. I don't think you could do.
Right. A lot of the classic comedies or either have a sequel or I don't think they I wouldn't want to watch a Blazing Saddles 2.
No, I would not want to watch Blazing Saddles 2.
I have a feeling that would turn out like Caddyshack 2.
Oh, let's not discuss that at all.
Sorry.
Or Airplane 2.
Yeah, Airplane 2 is a train wreck too. Yeah.
Brutal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the reason why Jeannie won't watch Airplane. It's because she watched Airplane 2 and she's like, it's terrible.
Oh,
I'm like, I know.
Two different movies.
It's two completely different movies.
Yeah.
Airplane is probably one of the best sight gag movies ever made.
Yeah, absolutely.
Airplane 2 is a space abortion.
It's so true.
So bad.
It's so bad, yeah. It's right, that's why I mentioned Caddyshack too, because it's just awful. All right, fair enough.
How about Shining 2? Even shinier.
Jesus. You know what we need?
No?
You know what we need? We need a second Schindler's List.
Schindler's other list.
Yeah, Schindler's extended list. Right.
Right. Ugh. Another Schindler's List.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
10 Commandments 2.
Sophie's Other Choice.
Right. Yeah. Just terrible sequels at this point,
Yeah.
God. What a terrible idea that would be. Oh, man.
I'm kind of surprised there was never a follow-up to, Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. That they didn't, it wasn't like Ferris Bueller 2, Cameron's Day or something like that, to where you couldn't get Matthew Broderick back, but you could get Cameron back,
Right.
And this time it's his day to skip school, kind of like Van Wilder 2, what is it, the something of Raj or whatever it was, and it was just a train wreck of a movie.
Yeah.
Mm. I'm glad they didn't. I'm very glad they didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
No, leave Ferris Bueller alone, for the love of God.
Right.
I'm actually waiting for them, because it's get about the time just to
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. The Breakfast Club, too. Yeah. Yeah.
I hate Hollywood.
Right. And there's some that I don't think you even really could. Like Goonies, I don't think you could really do a good sequel to Goonies.
No, I don't think so, because that movie kind of tied it up at the end nice.
Right. Well, plus, what happens, it's what are the odds this is going to happen to these same kids? Something like that again,
Right.
So, yeah.
Not unless you give that little Asian kid of all the gadgets a spinoff.
Well, that's what I would do, but it would have been a TV show. It wouldn't have been a movie, but,
This is true.
Yeah.
I mean, sick.
Yes. Sick. Yes. Yeah.
So there you go. I think that's
good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, we want to know what movie sequel you'd like to see that has been made. And show us what you got.
Nice.
There you go. Galaxy Quest 2. That'd be awesome.
Ooh. Well, Yeah, it'd be tough to do without...
the exception of Alan Rickman.
Yeah, I was like, no Alan Rickman, though? I mean...
Yeah, never mind, shelf it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could find someone else to play that kind of role, but it's just not going to be the same, yeah.
It's not the same. No, Alan Rickman's not the same.
Yeah.
That movie's dead to me.
Exactly. Well, the idea of Galaxy Quest 2 is dead to you, yes.
Well, yeah.
I was like, Galaxy Quest is a fine movie.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, by Groffmore's Hammer or whatever.
Right. God, I need to watch it again. I think it's back in Netflix. I need to watch it again. It's been so long, I've forgotten so much.
It's a good one.
True. All right. Well, I guess with that, as always, we'll ask you to go to saltylanguage.com and, have a look at the links and stuff that Tony puts up if you want. I don't know if there's any videos necessarily. Have we discussed any videos?
I might put up the trailer for Kindergarten Cop 2 once I watch it.
Right. Oof. Right. Okay. Fair enough. That'll work. Or maybe see if you can find a clip of Emoji Madness. Ugh.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Anyway, so stuff that's usually there, whatever. You can also check out the networks we're part of, at the bottom of the page, or no, they're on the right side or whatever, right?
Yeah, right side.
Okay.
Right side. Stacked up all oh, fuck, we're not gonna have Danger.
Nope.
God damn it.
We're part of the Tangent Bound Network. We're on the Geek Life Radio list of podcasts, and we're also part of we don't have the sound drop.
Yeah,
Danger Entertainment.
Danger Entertainment.
Yeah, we're also part of that.
God damn you, Kindle! Why'd you die on me?
Don't you die on me! Shit.
Don't you die on me?
Yeah, so right. There's that. Normally I'd also mention the Amazon thing. Again, if you're going to shop on Amazon and you want the link, hit me up. I'll fire off the link to you and you can help us out a little bit. What? You know what time
Danger! There we go.
Get on the floor.
Thank you, iPhone.
Yep. All right, now I feel a little better. I just wasn't feeling right,
I know, right?
Like something was off. Right. So yeah, if you want to contact the show, all our social media links are on the website, but if, we'll run some of them here. Like, if you want to find the show on Twitter, it's salty_language. If you want to find me, it's at Stunami.
I am at Monotony. Can also do a little that Salty Language Pod on the Instagrams.
Mm-hmm.
And Salty Language Pod on YouTube, because I'll be putting up the Tony chest cam.
Nice.
From the winging contest. It's kind of like if you were watching Hardcore Henry, but he ate wings and drank beer.
Oh, I thought it was where you just recorded hot racks the whole time.
That's a great idea.
Damn it, man. Anyway, moving on.
I got a chest cam for you.
Oh my.
And salty_language on Snapchat.
Damn it, Uncle Tickle. Go away, it's not Thanksgiving yet.
It's true.
You can find me on Snapchat at Ninjitsu if you'd like to.
You like that celery in your stuffing.
Oh my.
I got a baby carrot to glaze.
I heard you like your stuffing dry. You're a freak like me. Yeah. God. All right, moving on.
Once I have a few drinks, I'll pass the rolls.
What? Oh boy. All right. Wow.
Just if you say anything in that voice, it comes across weird and creepy.
It's true. Herbs aren't herbs aren't the only thing that got stuck under that turkey skin.
Don't you just hate it when the gravy gets a skin on it?
Oh, God. Oh, man. All right, well, I'm going to throw up in my mouth a little bit now. And Uncle Tickle Thanksgiving, brought to you by... Oh, my.
I was elbow deep in this turkey. How's that make you feel?
Hey kid, what does this turkey and your aunt have in common? Choose your own ending on that one.
It's true.
Oh shit. Oh man. Whew. All right. Is there any other social media we need to promote there? I can't think of any.
I think we promoted all the social medias.
Fair enough. Tony, hit him with the email, the garbage email again.
Oh, freepodcastgarbage@gmail.com if you want some free podcast garbage.
Right. And again on Amazon for the shirts. What do they do?
Just search Salty Language shirt on Amazon. I'm going to attempt to put a link to it directly on our website. And I'll be periodically throwing out shit over our social media too, because, gotta see what sticks to the wall.
Damn right.
Yeah, you gotta see what sticks.
All right. Well, from me, Tony, and Uncle Tickle, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Stay salty.
Okay, stop laughing. Ooh. Oh, man. For those who've listened to Firefly, this last one they'll get is, I think we're going to the special kind of hell.
Indeed.
Whew.
And I guess happy Thanksgiving and stuff.
Sure, yeah. Hopefully Uncle Tickle won't be at your Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for sure. Let's for sure hope he's not there. And
I can't wait to glaze your yams. And anyway.
That's not marshmallow on those potatoes.
Oh, we gotta stop. I hope people are listening.
For the rest of the evening.
I hope people are listening to this on the way to their Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, that would be great. All festive and cheerful. The kids are in the car; they don't know why they're listening to this awful film.
Naturally. Oh man! All right. So yeah, happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you next time.